Alright, so this is a quick demonstration of the benchmarks feature with the 4 scenarios that I'd recommend for the study that Dr. Seth Jenny was talking to me about. And so whenever you start up the software, first thing you see is the intro scenario, and we would be sending the participants into the benchmarks area of the software. And if we go here, we have all of these 12 benchmarks that people can play. And there are 4 in particular that I think would be interesting for new people, new people to the software to play. They are the 2 static clicking scenarios, the ground tracking, reactivity tracking scenario, and the smooth vertical tracking. These are different skill sets. They're useful in different first-person shooters and third-person shooters, and just general mouse control in esports. So for clicking static, whenever you click on it and you go to play, it's very simple. It just has a minute countdown timer, which I moved just below my crosshair so I could see it at all times, but it defaults to the top of the screen. And you shoot a target, respawns. So you just do that sort of thing. And the F3 key resets it, so participants could, if they're unhappy with their performance and they get too many misses, then they can reset it. Also at the bottom of my screen you see the pistol 2 out of 3, that's my ammo count, so it reloads. So if I try to mash click, you can't shoot whenever it's reloading, but if you get kills then it adds to the ammo. So this scenario is scored based on how many kills you get, and it's a simple multiplier that takes the kill count times that value and gives you a point, points at the end. So from there, after we use the score, we map it to ranks. We have ranks from bronze 1, 2, 3, silver 1, 2, 3, gold 1, 2, 3, platinum 1, 2, 3, diamond 1, 2, 3, master 1, 2, 3, and grandmaster. And they're basically divisions of about a 20th of percentiles. So this score is going to be pretty low compared to my normal. It dropped a good bit, but it goes by my highest score. So I had a high score of 80808, and I can click on the leaderboard, see what my actual score is relative to other people, and how the calculation was done. So we have the damage and hits are both multiplied by 0, whereas the kill count of 66 times this static gives me this score. So then I click done, back to here, and again it kept my highest score, not the most recent. So then the other scenarios are the same thing, where there is going to be a score calculation done. Clicking 3 wide is going to be similar, where you have the exact same weapon set up with the reloads whenever you miss too many, but it also refills ammo if you get kills. And it's just 3 targets that are a little bit larger on a wider wall. So this is more like the type of aim you might have to use in various first-person shooters, where the targets are kind of all over the place, more horizontally than vertical. So this is the second scenario, and take a quick look at the score calculation after it runs out. These are my personal weaknesses because I grew up playing games where tracking aim is much more important. Alright, I'll just let that run out. So then the other 2 scenarios are going to be tracking, where instead of just moving your mouse and clicking and getting a kill, you actually have to hold left click down and track at a target. So this leaderboard calculation, same thing, it's kill count times 777, gives you point count. And oh, by the way, I should mention that whenever you're in the benchmark screen, if you click the info button at the top, it shows you the different scenarios and the score targets to reach these different ranks. So we go through here, and we can see what it takes to get a grandmaster score in that scenario. So then the other scenario I recommended, next one is ground tracking. So ground tracking has kind of this situation where there's a bot that's going to run in circles around me and I have to track him. The body is a little bit easier to track because it's wider, and the head is a little bit harder to track, and as you click and hold you'll hear the hit sounds. And headshots do extra damage, so I want to try to stay on the head as best I can. So the first one spawns in the middle, the second one spawns a little further out, so he hits the vertical spaces a little bit more often. And Then the third one spawns right in front of me, and I just have to track him. He doesn't do quite as much up and down due to the geometry not pulling him up and down. And this one, I believe, is scored on damage done. So the more damage that you do and the more bots you manage to kill, higher points you'll get. So there we go. This one, it was based on, so you get points for kills and points for damage. You add it all up, you get this value. Accuracy and damage efficiency are now multiplied into it. And then if I click done on that, the last scenario that I recommended was smooth vertical tracking. And this one starts out with a bot that just kind of spawns in front of you, and you have to do a little bit of horizontal tracking, but much more vertical. And again, the head does extra damage. So if you're trying to get more points, you want to aim for the head, but that's a hard thing to do whenever it constantly goes up and down. So this is a little bit of a different skill in tracking. So these are the starting places where I'd recommend somebody who's new to aim training jumps into trying to practice these 4 scenarios. And in a more real-world situation where I was trying to help somebody get better at aiming in a particular way, it would depend on what the game is they're playing. But yeah, once again, you get points for damage, points for kills, and that gets added up. So there we go. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and give me an email or any communication that works. Thanks much. See ya.